Well, actually, the brand's almost 30 years old this next year. It was established in 1985 by a gentleman called Satya Paul. He's probably the most energetic 65-year-old guy I know. So he was a designer in the mid-80s when Satya Paul started. In the mid-90s, they kind of just lost interest in the Indian market and went off to the US. So Satya Paul continued its history by being sold through Heritage and Lafayette for years. How I got involved in the business is we started selling ties and scarves with Satya Paul design in the 90s. And in 2002, we actually bought the brand, and Satya Paul's son Puneet joined us back in the business in 2002. We launched the first store in 2003. And actually the only difference we made to Satya Paul was we tried to bring corporate, we corporatized Satya Paul in those days. I still remember in our first fashion show in, I don't remember if it was 2003 or 2004, one of the designers came up to me and said, it's very easy to do what you're doing because you've got a big corporate backing you. But in reality, there was no corporate. It was just the three of us put together, created one thing to the next to the third, and all we did was basic business principles. I mean, Satya Paul is what started the company genesis. Today, of course, we have 14 luxury brands along with the business, and the business has grown fairly substantially, running about 110 stores across. But that's really what started the business. But less about the business, more about Satya Paul before I hand you over to the three girls out here who know much more than I do. But when you talk about Satya Paul, you cannot miss out about Prince. That's our DNA, that's what communicates, that's what, the essence of Satya Paul is basically started with Prince. Whether it was Mr. Paul or Puneet, they really treated the sari as a 6-yard canvas, and now Masaba has taken that over. In the days, I remember in the 80s or 90s when saris were heavy, and a lot of you are still wearing heavy saris, right? But Satya Paul connotated a modern women's sari, a woman who was equally comfortable attending a puja or a fashion show, equally at home, being with her mother-in-law or taking a flight. And that's what really it stood for, right? Those are the days, you didn't have so many designers, you didn't have any of the foreign brands, and the number of women who aspired to get a Satya Paul sari was amazing. As we've grown the business to keep more abreast with times and to keep in touch with our designs, Masaba joined us last year in December. Sujata was instrumental in putting this together, so I have to thank her too. And it's just been a whole new look of youth, more togetherness. Business has changed. I think the only constant in life is change, and we realize that too. What was very relevant is to be in time with today, whether it's being digital savvy or being on social media, being on Facebook. I think we've got 190 or 200,000 followers on Facebook. What's the exact number, Jiro?
1,93,000.
Okay, 1,93,000. So we've got probably the largest number of followers among a designer in Facebook. We run 28 stores today of Satya Paul women's wear. We've of course expanded into embroideries, lehengas, etc., etc. I don't know one from the other. I'm going to leave the creative team to talk about that. But I think as we've moved around, when Masaba joined us, she was 23 and a half or 24, still in the mid-20s, so she fits into Y-Flow very well. Why Y-Flow? Okay, why Y-Flow? But it's been great. She's added a whole new energy to the brand. She's added a lot of youthfulness to the brand, and I think be in touch with today. So thank you, ladies, for coming here today. I'm going to hand you over to the design team, and I guess if you have any questions, please speak to them. Thanks.
Thank you.
So the word sari is derived from a Sanskrit word meaning sati, which means a strip of cloth. So the essence actually of the sari is that it's a strip of cloth that is draped around you and it is unstitched. And within fashion there is this great debate about the new forms of the sari, which are stitched saris and easier to wear saris, and the relationship this has with the original form of the sari. My point of view, and it's very similar to Satya Paul's point of view, which is why I've enjoyed working with the brand so much, is that the sari has to evolve as long as we keep the trends. Where else in the world, except for perhaps Scotland, for special occasions you will see the men take out their kilts, but where else in the world will you see a room full as we are right now, where I think nearly every single one of us is wearing the national dress in some form, be it the kurta, be it the sari, be it an Indian print in even a dress form. We make sure the sari adapts. There are different blouses. The kurta changes length. the style of your sari drape changes. And if putting a stitch in also helps, why not? We need to have both forms of the sari, I feel, to keep it alive. We need to have the traditional form, and we need to have the evolved and the inspirational saris, which in fashion we call the concept sari. Satya Paul, and way before all the fashion brands, if you think about the way it's always been tweaked, think of Vaida Rahman and Mumtaz. In fact, their saris were stitched back then in the 60s, but they were only stitched for Bollywood for the convenience. So the stitched saris been going on for many, many years. In 1985, when Satya Paul started, it started the whole trends of saris on chamois satin and crepes, which most of us, as you can see, most of the Satya Paul girls are wearing in different avatars today. And they're very light and they're very easy. And it gave the sari a form of such ease that it could be compared to a little black dress. So that was something that Mr. Paul himself started in 1985. It is the only dress really that takes the form of the shape of the women. It's the most flattering dress. You can be any size and you can wear the sari. You can be any shape and you can wear the sari. It is something you can keep for years and years and years. But the sari has evolved. It's gone from being 9 yards to 6 yards. Before the Victorians came to England, we didn't even wear sari blouses. We were very happy to wear a strip of cloth, and we didn't even wear the petticoat. We actually became, ironically, more conscious of covering our body thanks to the British. We were more avant-garde than them. So the sari has always evolved, and we've always made it affected by fashion trends. When the British came, we changed to adapt to the British trends. So it really is a garment that has moved with the times. But I think what Satya Paul has done is given it one jump, and they were always ahead of the game. One of Puneet's first reinvention of the sari was the trouser sari. So this was a sari which was like a half sari which you draped into trousers and you threw it over, and it can be worn, I think, in less than a minute. We have one form of it there, the churidar sari, which you can have a look at in the yellow, which is so easy to wear. And today you can see many designers doing the trouser sari. They talk about it being a new invention. Well, it started in 2002 in the autumn-winter collection. It was a hand-painted fabric done in crepe, so it was very easy to wear. And to keep it modern, even the print is the DNA of Satya Paul. The colors and the prints were kept very young. And in many ways, it brought the younger women back to saris. You see women of that time, Sheetal Malhar at that time was the style icon of that day. She was known for wearing dresses and things, but women like her were happy to wear the sari because this was easy to wear in a minute, doesn't need ironing, wasn't fussy, and looked so fashionable, yet it was the sari. And also celebrate the reinvention of saris. One must exist for the other to exist. So at the same time, it's also celebrated saris, but given them a twist by looking at very interesting interpretations. So in 2003, they were inspired by Raja Ravi Verma, and these were very antique-looking saris. If you look at them, they're very traditional looking, but a twist in the way they were draped. The halter neck is made in a way. Halter necks were very in fashion and in vogue at this time. So an international trend was given a point of Indian relevance. So it made sure that the sari didn't lose it. But there is the handcrafting, there is the filigree work, there's the cut work. So there's all the celebration of Indian craftsmanship going on at the same time. One of our most famous saris, and I was here I think a few weeks ago, and there was a bride from Canada or America, and she only wanted to get married in the polka sari. 2004, breast cancer is something that is very dear to Satya Paul's heart, and something that they have worked on recently. They did the whole Lisa Ray of Hope collection. Lisa Ray, of course, herself also had cancer recently. So this was something they did, and they took this, and I think this has become an iconic sari. It is so light if you pick it up, yet it is heavy enough to wear for a wedding. At this time, most young women were wearing the lehenga for the wedding, but they wanted to look at the sari again because of the lightness. The polka, it's such a young, fresh. It was the style statement of the moment was to wear polkas, and so this really brought back into life the sari, and it's still iconic. It's iconic. So that means that fashion saris can eventually become classics too. And that's something Satya Paul balances. They make the fashion sari a classic, so you know that it's not going to last just one season. Other saris they have done include the other collections that are interesting at the Hexavaram sari, where they took the Kanjivaram and again turned it into something light and easy to wear, exceptionally sexy sari blouses. Puneet, the former creative director, was someone who really took the sari blouse and worked with it and made them so sexy that every young girl wanted to wear the sari. The Churidar sari is a reinvention of the trouser sari, which is the yellow one, which is over there. And I think it's something you should really, really look at when you're leaving, because when you see the way the pleats fall and how easy it is to wear, you realize how functional this sari is, yet how festive it is. And normally a festive piece that you wear is not that functional. And that's something that I think concept saris really do keep alive. So under Masaba, the sari gets even more forward, and this is from her first collection, Old Streets Neon Lights, which was the autumn winter collection, which is right now, which is the armhole sari, which means that you don't even need to bother with the pallu. You just put your hand through and you wear a sari and you go. Can you think of anything more easier or more simple in life? It's actually like quite ingenious, the armhole sari. This one is perhaps slightly more fashion forward. We have had it worn by women like Feroz Gujral, so it is a sari that has been popular. So this is, yeah, it's right there. It's a suspender sari. So we took androgyny is very much fashion's flavor of the moment, the whole androgyny look. Women taking up from men's dressing. So we took the whole idea of suspenders and show that even the sari can move and be androgynous. It's not only about Western wear, it's about Indian wear too. And we kept it fun, we kept the DNA alive with the print and the pop of pink color. So it's a very, very sort of clever, young take on the sari. In the first demi-couture collection that Masaba presented, she did a take on the goddess sari. The goddess sari is something that's existed for many years, probably something you associate, sorry girls, with Tarun Tehelani and Gaurav Gupta, who do it very, very well. But again, Satya Paul put its own stamp on this. This is really interesting. The pallu is actually, should I just get up and show you? The pallu is actually connected to the nakab. So it's almost like wearing a dress, which is why we call it the goddess sari, because it's as easy as the goddess dress and it's as complementary and holds everything in like the goddess dress. Yeah, it's actually attached.
Which one?
There, you can get up. We've kept them all around so that you can have a look at them later. Then of course the sari lehenga, something in fact Satya Paul's probably been doing what, for 7 or 8 years. But again in 2013, it's right there in the entrance. We adapted it by adding a jacket to it and making it a little sleeker. And actually I was at a wedding recently and it looks like the lehenga sari is really the sari that has caught everyone's attention. Some people call it the frill sari. It's easy to wear, it's got panels on it. You drape it around and it looks like a lehenga. And I know this is Y-flow, but as you get older you may feel that the lehenga is perhaps not correct for your age, but the lehenga sari look, you can wear it at any age and any time. It's young, yet it's elegant, yet it's old, so it balances both. And I think most brides today are opting for that. So what has happened? So the sari becomes really, really easy to wear, it's really fashionable. Suddenly Bollywood are wearing the sari all the time. This is just in the last few months. In fact, this sari is so popular, we call it the Madhuri sari. It's so beautiful. This is Lisa Ray, this is the pre-stitched sari. Lisa, of course, comes from Canada. She wears saris all the time and she loves Satya Paul saris because of the ease of them wearing it. This is Sonam wearing the lipstick sari, which she wore for a L'Oreal press conference. How more appropriate can that be than that? So, you know, Bollywood takes the sari, and as we all know in India, all that matters is Bollywood or cricket stars. Now, I don't think we're going to make a sari for Sachin now. So,
We made a tie for him.
Huh? We made a tie for him. We made it. So, we have Bollywood taking to the sari, which is just taking the sari to the next level. We have the international influence. This is Hermes and this is Chanel. Both of them have done adaptations of the sari. These are also actually concept saris. If you look at that, that is a pre-stitched, almost trouser sari, what Hermes has done. And that is a version of the Indian goddess sari. So they are doing it too internationally. And it's a great way of keeping the sari alive by having everyone wear it. Naomi Campbell has worn, these saris. It's wonderful because they're so easy to wear. And from the international influence, the Indian media picks it up. And finally, we have whole issues of magazines dedicated to the sari. This one is 2010, I think, November Vogue, which is when Louis Vuitton took sari fabrics and made dresses. This is this November's issue where they've taken 50 shades of the sari and talked about the black sari. And the black sari today is as iconic as the LBD and as celebrated. I don't know if you noticed in all the presentations we have the sari with sari spelled S-A-R-E-E and we've got S as capital. Satya Paul believes that this is how the sari should be spelled because this is the traditional way, and the sari is so special it should always have a capital S. And what's interesting is some of the media are now picking up on it and now spelling the sari like this. So we're very proud of that. So ultimately, it's its versatility that will ensure its survival for generations to come. It is brands like Satya Paul. It is the fact that fashion has embraced the sari that will ensure the sari will remain the oldest known worn garment. And now we should hand over to Ms. Sava who will talk about culture.
I think before I start, I'd just like to introduce everyone to Pallavi here. She's the creative head of the company, and all the saris we've done are both our minds together. So just to introduce everyone to her. I just thought that it would be interesting to talk about different body types. I think as women, we need to know what ways we can sort of accentuate our plus points and kind of cover the flaws. So we've identified 5 body types. They're very, very basic, and I'm sure you can identify with them yourselves. And just to figure out what kind of prints, what kind of colors, geometric patterns can really work or not work for your body type. So we'll start with the apple shape. The 5 shapes are the apple, there's the inverted triangle, the rectangle, and the hourglass. So we start with the apple. So basically this is for women who are a little bigger around the midriff area and have larger tummies. So smaller prints are a great way to accentuate your upper half, which is not very big, and cover up the middle belly section. Go for lighter fabrics, not very heavyweight. They will just add bulk to your frame. You can add dimension with layering. You can do lots of structured jackets, really fierce looking collars, and always go for shorter sleeves because women like these tend to be heavier on the arms. I think another way is never do too much print or larger prints around your midriff area. You can wear larger, longer blouses if you're not very comfortable showing your, love handles and highlight your limbs. This is a way that you can style the sari. That's what I was saying. You can do it with a shirt instead of a regular blouse. You can do it, a nice tie-up collar all the way up, and or you could go with a printed jacket. You could do print on print, or go with just a basic black jacket if you want to, convert the sari from day to night, or if you're traveling and stuff like that. We've just got some accessories here from Michael Kors. Just different types of shoes for different types of bodies. Obviously, I think women who are apple shaped are generally mid-height, and if you don't want to wear very high heels with the sari, then you can always go for the smaller wedges like the brown ones up front there, or you can go for I don't know what that is. That's like the little strappy toe in the front, or you could go for the red, really pointed V shoe. The next one is the rectangle. This is the easiest one because it's usually for women who are very lean, tall and thin. You can create curves by wearing different kinds of prints. Always wear horizontal stripes instead of vertical stripes because it will make you look longer and larger. You should make bold prints to create the illusion of fullness. Clingy fabrics, you can wear that. Lots of satins, and you can even wear a lycra sari, because you can carry it off. tighter the fabric, the better. Obviously, it can hug your shape really well. And you can sport a nice belt because you're thin and you can really cinch in the waist and make it a really fun, quirky version of the sari. This is the suspender sari that we were talking about just before. I think this is great for the rectangle shape because you're thin and you're lean, you know, usually they're chest, you know, smaller chested women. And you can really show off your midriff because it's usually a really toned, flat tummy. And I think the best thing about this shape is that you can wear shorter saris as compared to women who have to wear saris, you know, that kind of sweep the floor. You can really wear saris which like a chotu sari which Sabyasachi did actually, but you can do saris, you can really tie it up all the way and wear saris that are really short as compared to how I'm wearing it. But the next one is the triangle. This is for all the women with hips like myself. So I think you can create a balance between color and pattern. You should wear larger prints around the chest because you're obviously very narrow on the chest area. Form-fitting fabrics like cotton, georgette, you can celebrate your upper half like I said before. I think this point I really agree with, where you shouldn't wear heels with ankle straps because it just tends to make your legs look chunky for no reason. So just go for shoes which are open in the front or peep toes perhaps. Again, this is how you can style the sari with jackets, full sleeve blouses, stuff like that. Again, if you notice, the prints are only on the top area, never at the bottom. The next one is the inverted triangle. Always go for soft drapey chiffons. This is for women who are big busted, you know, who have broad shoulders. Bold detailing at the bottom. You should wear fuller skirts, so you could probably invest in a really nice flouncy petticoat perhaps because you have a narrow bottom. Always go for horizontal stripes, big prints. You can wear long necklaces to shift the focus to the center, and always go for simple blouses and elaborate saris. This was the sari lehenga that we've shown as the example for it. Again with jackets, and because you can wear a lot of volume at the bottom, it's a great example for this point. I think this is the last one, the hourglass. This is for really curvy women who love to celebrate their curves and are really narrow at the waist, big at the hips and the upper body of course. Always go for softer fabrics like knits and silk blends. Solid colors, color blocking or vertical stripes just give you the illusion of height. You can wear a belt over your sari again because you have a really tiny waist. So if you're going for a cocktail or something and you don't want to wear a regular sari, you can just team it up with a really cool gold chunky belt, or maybe just take one of your neck pieces and just wear it, tie it up on your waist instead. So you can pair the sari with a really short jacket like a crop or a little bandi, that would be really interesting, and invest in good heels always. This is one always really works, and never try and wear too much volume at the bottom again because you look really disproportionate. This was actually a quote that I saw a few days back. It was on my sari that I'm wearing. This is a sari that Puneet designed, I think 2005, and there was a quote on the label which said, "Appear as you are, be as you appear," which I thought was really interesting because he was very ahead of his time and he gave us the printed sari when it's now become very popular. But to do that so many years back and to have such a strong, such a strong quote on the sari, I thought was really bold. So this is what Satya Paul stands for, and that's what our sari stands for too. Thank you. I get very scared to wear saris myself, and I just thought, just wear really tight jeans, you know, it falls off, and high-waisted jeans and a full-sleeve top which is long, because I didn't want to be, it's cold also, so I don't really want to be in short things, and it's just nice to be covered up and warm and comfy.
Very good idea.
Should have put that in the presentation.
Yeah. And any
No,
other?
but also we have Kirti there at the back. Kirti, come. She, she's also wearing over
But
leggings.
mine are like shorter, so it's all legs.
I've noticed that when you wear a sari without a petticoat and with leggings or tight jeans, I just feel like your frame looks so much smaller.
Very good idea.
I'm going to try it, but I think
Yeah. So this,
Even the tights, I think, you can just.
yeah, I wear with tights. The only problem is I feel like it's a little loose to keep the pleats in place. So just really tight jeans. You can wear a belt and just keep the pleats in and wear it.
If it's not transparent.
Yeah.
I have a question. What is it? No, I keep wondering, is it a good idea to wear full sleeves? Would that make it appear slimmer, or is it better to stick to till the elbows?
So actually that's the mistake people make. They think that the ones that just end above the elbow are the ones that make you look thinner, but they don't. If you have big arms, always go for really full sleeves, really slender ones, because they just give the illusion of longer limbs and really cinched in arms.
But saris, how do we make that a little modern? Just how do we give the traditional sari a little modern twist without seeming like one's trying too hard?
I think the armhole sari is a great way. I mean, I wouldn't suggest something like the suspender because that is a little out there. But I think if you like the traditional, like the kanjivarams and the more very my mother's generation saris, I think in that case the armhole sari is great because you can always do that to one of the saris that you have, and it'll just be easier to handle. You can stitch the pleats up, wear it like a skirt, or you can embellish it at the, like I said, you can do a nice belt, a gold or a silver belt, or maybe wear one of your antique pieces, jewelry pieces instead of on your neck, wear it on the belt and tie it up. I think that would be nice. Also blouses, I think blouses is something you can really play around with. You can wear a shirt with a kanjivaram sari, it will look really cool. A lace shirt, a plain satin shirt, or
Each people have a great saris.
me, no. I am the wrong person,
But we have a workshop coming up next week on 6th. It will be at the LF Place Saket. We'll send you the timings. Please do come
What
over.
is it called? Kalpana Shah coming up. So she's coming to show us how to drape.
So besides the shirt, what else can we do?
You can wear a crop top instead of a blouse. That's really good. The ones that are sort of cinched in here, you can do interesting types with that. You can wear a lace blouse like Katie's wearing. You can wear a nice long shirt and leave one side of the shirt out and tuck the other side in. We did that for one of our shows actually. So just pick out stuff from your wardrobe and mix and match, and you'll always find something. And I think jackets are a great way, for at least for the winters, to wear saris. But you can always go for a really nice printed or just a plain embellished jacket over a really nice regular sari.
That would a nice velvet jacket.
through the jacket.
Yes.
That really gives it
Take the pallu through the jacket, wear a nice belt, and it looks really good.
What do you mean by through the jacket? Under the jacket or over the jacket? Oh, inside.
Another way of, and then you just take a plain net cover up. So it's like a full sleeved sheer thing, like a top, which is that long. So just wear it on top, like it really cinches you in because it makes you look super slim. And it's sheer, and the sari still shows through it.
And you don't have to hand your
And you don't have to handle your pallu because the pallu goes inside the top and comes out from the bottom.
Saris.
Yes,
I
yeah.
lived in Brazil for 6 years, and I don't think I've ever worn saris more than I did there because the comments were just incredible. And I think the idea of it's an unstitched long piece of fabric and it
And
stays
you can
up.
do so much to it.
Absolutely. And my husband is English, and I think the allure of a sari, we've been together for a number of years. He's the one who can pin my sari better than me. So
Yeah, I know. That's something we should be proud of actually, because it's a really innovative drape, and it's not just a stylish thing. It's functional. You have your maids who can like clean up a whole house wearing the sari. So it's quite amazing to think.